thicker the pie, thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Made them a bite, now lacing no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it. The is mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. I ain't holding her in. Just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for a doubt. She don't give a. She was in her bag. Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger. Watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on in case. We was on roll like tires. What we gon' let? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, it's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
In Pittsburgh, 45-42 to advance to their third AFC Championship game in franchise history. I like what you did there. A handful. 5 interceptions by Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he struggled in that first outing. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Rudolph. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now the first carry for Wendell Smallwood. And an alley to run. 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Wendell Smallwood, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Gone!
On second down, here's Rudolph. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They go play action here on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And this is taken in at the 5. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 55 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. Now a toss play to Lewis. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Dion Lewis, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. A dump off to Smallwood. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Rudolph now on second down. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On third down, it's Lewis. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. It was Joe Hayden, the former Pro Bowler, that came up to get him down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, here's Yeldon. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Stephon Tuitt came out at Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. First catch for the NFL's leader in receiving yards a year ago, and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pick up there, 26 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes.
Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Jags grab it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 following the fumble recovery. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start things on 1st down with Dion Lewis. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Rudolph throwing on 2nd down. He's airing it out for Williams. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Wendell Smallwood with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And his kick is good. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And with flags down, he's up near the 40. But it looks like this one might be coming back. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
The pitch goes to Yeldon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
steps away to his left. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On third down, Yeldon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
T.J. Yeldon's not afraid to drop a shoulder or run through some tackles, is he?
Not at all. I learned it in his high school days in Alabama, then, of course, stayed in state to play at Alabama. He could do that there.
And what I think is best about him, and when he's really on top of his game, when he's a little bit lighter, a little bit quicker, I think he's strong enough. He's compact enough to break those tackles, but I think he's at his best at a shiftier weight.
Rudolph looking to throw, being chased out left. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Rudolph looking to throw it. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They run. This is Lewis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
This is Lewis. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Rudolph. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. Two minutes to play here in the first half. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the toss, Lewis looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Lewis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It's like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. How about that being his 13th interception of the season, tied for number 2 all-time?
And when someone's having a season that fantastic, wouldn't you think you'd have a scouting report that says, don't throw in his area?
I don't think he's cared about the scouting reports all year.
Yeah, he's found a way to find the football. He's become a true ball magnet.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the taunts. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Joe Hayden there to bring him down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know that, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Lambeau will put this one through. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They start the drive with Smallwood. And an alley to run. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. So time for the 2nd half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Smallwood. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go for...
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Take both of them.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 27. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Roethlisberger will throw. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Here we go. Big.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. They go play action with Roethlisberger. But it's brought in by Washington. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Smallwood. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? This time, Roethlisberger will throw. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Big Ben going to take it himself, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger, his 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And he puts it through. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
They try again with Lewis. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. They'll fake it. Now Rudolph on the move to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the 50, it's Rudolph. Got a man over the middle, it's Williams. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the fourth. This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Rudolph now to throw. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Rudolph, left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. 1st and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Now they'll run with Lewis. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On 2nd down, here's Rudolph. The quick slant caught. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher for guys trying to get to the football.
And that is caught. Touchdown. Jacksonville. James O'Shaughnessy, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars move back within a couple of the lead. So here we go now as the Jaguars will go for 2. They'll try and run it in. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Here's Smallwood as they begin on the ground. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's Austin. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Here's Rudolph. Going underneath for Lewis. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They keep it with Yeldon on 1st down. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, partner, that's one of the problems when you sell out to stop the run on 3rd and short. Sometimes you break that initial wall and you go a long way.
So how do you prevent it?
That's tough to do. That really is tough to do. And one of the things offenses like to do nowadays in practice, you know, they do a lot of working against equal numbers. They'll start putting more and more numbers on defense and just telling the offensive guys, figure it out, learn how to block it. We may see this situation.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Rudolph now on 2nd down. Ebron caught left side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Rudolph. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Tyrell Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars have moved down in front here in the 4th quarter. They do tack on the extra point as well, and the lead is up to 5. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. First down now, but that clock rolling. He'll look to throw. And that's complete to Jesse James. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. Back to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. They'll run with Smallwood. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow.
And now Big Ben will lead the Steelers up to go for 2.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
What looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Bud Dupree in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.